All right, now we're good. Okay, so do you want to start with your rankings and then I'll give you mine? Or I can start with mine.
I think let's start with like what we thought was number one.
I just put the fanny pack of food as number one. I figure they're either going to have to be packing out or staying put, so they're going to need that either way.
I put food as number two. I would put her as one just because of the fact that you can live only 3 days without water, but you can go a week without food.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't put the water as number one is because it's raining all the time. So, like, it was a really rainy area, I guess. So I figured the
buckets or anything.
Yeah. Then what would they put the purification tablets in anyway?
I was saying the whiskey bottle.
Oh, whiskey bottle. Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you said tablets. Yeah.
No, I said number one was water purification tablets, but what they could put it in was whiskey bottle.
Oh, for the whiskey bottle. Okay. My number two is actually the compass, and then my number three was the map. Travis, you okay?
Yeah, sorry. I didn't think I'd make it, but I think I pushed everything out, so I'll try and talk.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I heard that you guys already started creating or saying what your list was.
Yeah, we're just like on 1 through 3 basically. So what do you rank number one?
Number one, for me, I put the duct tape because, you know, they joke around that you can do anything with duct tape, but my first priority would probably get that canoe fixed because that's the fastest way of traveling to get back to the town because you're probably not going to be able to walk with somebody with broken leg and people beat up. You're going to want them send probably 2 people down. You're going to want that canoe fixed, which means duct tape's going to get that pretty much enough waterproof to get it down to at least 1 or 2 days where they can get down to the town.
All right.
I didn't think duct tape would do that.
I don't know how long it would do it for, but it could.
Well, I mean, you'd be able to layer it enough to where duct tape could hold it. I mean, enough to where duct tape can hold. You don't have to get too far, and you're not trying to sit floating. You're constantly moving, so it's going to be rushing water, not just sitting into it. And then you got to get something down. You got to get people down to town because if you wait it out, you're not going to get anybody down for another 5-6 days, and that's just too long for people that are injured.
Yeah, I had to wait for someone to show up. I guess we can go by more like section. I mean, going through every number is just going to be redundant and take forever. So I guess your front runners, Travis, was the duct tape. What were your top 3? And then we can just kind of talk about the ones we thought were more
All right. My front runners was because of trying to get the canoe fixed and get all that down. I said 1 was the duct tape to get it going so that it can get people out. 2 is the matches because chances are nobody knows how to actually start a fire without the matches. And you're going to want everybody's wet. So you're going to want them to get warm real fast. And the quickest way is with fire. It says that it's drizzling, and you can get a fire going with drizzle. It's not that bad. So you get it going, get it at least where you can probably dry out some of the clothes or whatever you have, getting people warm. And then my number 3, I had the sleeping bags because they're synthetic. Then they're not soaked in water, they're just covered in water. So if you get the fire going, dry them out, and use that either as cover shelter for on top. You can create cover to where it blocks everybody from the rain because it's waterproof. And then it's also used to hold in the heat. So you put a couple on top, a couple on the side as where the wind is coming from, and it'll trap in a lot of that heat and protect you from the weather.
Okay. For me, I just put the food, and then I actually did a compass as well, because I just figure that you leave the injured people there, and then you send the people who are okay out as fast as they can get out. So they just take the map and compass and try to make it to the town as fast as possible so that they can send help. So yeah, and then you can leave the food. You can split the food between the two groups. But that was my thinking.
I said it was in basic survival. I said 1 for water purification, because what you need most is water first to survive, and then food for 2. But then I did sleeping bags for 3 because of the same reason. They need shelter. I mean, they said the rain could happen any day, any minute. It was pouring on them, and for those people, they need shelter as soon as possible.
Yeah, sleeping bags was number 5 for me, so it was close to there, but not as far up as. So yeah, my mid-range is like my sleeping bags, the parachute cord, just things that are more versatile, and like duct tape. So like around 4 through 7, I've got sleeping bags, duct tape, and the paracord. Just because those things can really be used for anything. Yellow frisbee
Those
is
are my
14.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually, my last that I thought of as not important at all is the compass, your insect repellent, and like the water purification tablets, and pretty much those, because the reason behind that is your compass, your quickest source of travel would be the river. So your map is going to be extremely important, but you're not going to need a compass for the river, because a compass just tells you the direction, and then your paces, you would count your own paces and go. So to use the compass with the map, it would be unnecessary. You just use the river as your quickest form of travel, because you got to get there as soon as possible. So the map would be important, but the compass wouldn't. So the compass is kind of just extra weight. The insect repellent, because yeah, it could help protect, but out of the priorities with the other things, everything else you could use for other purposes. The insect repellent is only really good for flammable. We already have the matches. And then the water purification tablets, yeah, they can be important, but the process is about the same as if you boil water anyways. So like you guys had mentioned, Ewan mentioned the whole whiskey bottle. I keep that up on that top, not because of the whiskey. The whiskey is actually a bad idea, and it'll actually drop your temperature. But the glass is your hardest substance. It's the easiest to conduct heat. Once you got the fire going, you can heat up the water. Because it's rapids, you're not going to have a lot of not much bacteria around there, just a couple of parasites. So because of the natural purification system, all you're really going to need to do is kill some of the parasites that are in it. So heat up the water, then you can drink it, and you have pretty much limitless water. You don't need the tablets to begin with.
Okay. So it seems like my basic plan is to leave the people there and send people to go there. Travis's is to get the canoes and go down the river. I mean, those are basically what our plans are. And for you, Jessica, what do you think? What were you thinking when you clicked on the items, I guess?
I was thinking protect the injured, get them some shelter and a place to stay, and then go look for help with those who could physically go.
Okay, so pretty similar to mine. A little more focused on the shelter for the injured instead of the people.
Well, I mean, I still focus on the shelter as well. It's just the first priority would get the canoe built as quickly and get it down, because as soon as you do that, the sooner they get to civilization, they can send out a rescue party. Once they're out, then you would focus on building the shelter. And building the shelter isn't, it'd be important, but I didn't see it as important as getting people out to search rescue as quickly as possible. But I still have it for the shelter, like the parachute cord. Most people don't know that it's actually referred to as what's called 550 cord. The reason they call it 550 cord is there's actually 5 cords within one. So you could take it out inside. If you take the outer shell out, there's actually 5 ropes within it that hold up to 50 pounds each. But you could break that up from, instead of 35 feet, you're breaking it down to, what was that, like 180 or 200 feet worth that you can build a shelter, wrap the wood around, build stuff, and even have it as an elevation to heat water or heat anything above it by hanging it over, and keep hanging your whatever you want out of the fanny pack or stuff, hang it elevated away from where the bears can easily access it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna grab my charger really quick, or my laptop's gonna die. One second.
So Travis, were you of the same mind that the injured should stay and the healthy should go find help as quickly as possible?
What was that?
Were you thinking that the same, that the injured should stay in the shelter and the ones that are
Healthy, go find help.
Yeah,
bring back?
you can send whoever you can send the 2 fastest. I would send those 2 out, and then the 6 people, the other 4 would stay. The person that has a broken leg, they could still help. You would just grab some of like the duct tape or the rope, and you would grab some wood and you would stint it, their leg up, and then they could still be able to move around and do things with the support of the wood.
Okay. Well, let's start our group rating, and I think since we're all thinking around that line, that's what we can base it off of. My only concern is with the canoes. I don't know if you could get the outside of the canoe dry enough, especially with nothing really to dry it off with, to make the duct tape adhesive to the outside of it. So that's my concern with fixing the canoes. It's just getting the duct tape to be adhesive to the wet surface that when it's already raining on top of that.
It sounds like they need mostly shelter and a fire first, and then they can fix the canoe.
All right, so what do we want to make our number 1 then? I think
Matches for making the fire.
if we're going to dry off and fix the canoe, I would probably say matches as well. Are you in agreement, Travis?
Sure.
All right, so let's make our number 1 matches, and then we want to move from there.
And then either the sleeping bags or the duct tape for number 2.
So do we want to go sleeping bags number 2, duct tape number 3?
And the parachute cord. Because you'll need that to make it.
So let's go. I'm thinking sleeping bags number 2, duct tape number 3, and then parachute cords number 4.
So we're not worried about the canoe at all. We're just gonna build shelter and wait it out the next 6 days.
No, we were thinking that if we are going to fix the canoe, then we can use the fire to do it.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, that's just a thought. Because then it gives us fire to dry the sleeping bags, which we can use to wipe off the canoe and then use later as shelter. And then we can use the duct tape on the canoe.
So after that, you need the flotation devices too then, right?
If we are going to send people down the river.
Yeah.
Probably would become pretty important.
I wouldn't really use them for the flotation for the people going on the river. I'd keep them with the people that stay, because that's a lot of foam that you can use to keep them heat.
As insulation.
Yeah.
Well, they'll have 4 that they can use. But either way, we'll put it high on the priority list.
Yeah, do we want to go 5 or 6 on it?
For which one?
The flotation devices.
Let's go 5.
5. All right, so we've got 1 through 5 now. What do we want to put at 6? I'm thinking, I am thinking the map of the region should be up there right now.
I believe that's a really high one to put too.
You want to put it at 6?
Sure.
All right. So we've got the fanny pack of food, the 2 broken fishing poles, the wet clothes, the yellow frisbee, water purification, whiskey, and insect repellent, and the compass.
So probably the whiskey for the bottle, so that we can get
That's
water.
7.
Today.
I mean, water is important, but at the same time, like, you want to get everything set up first before you get to it, because you want it all set up before you are able to even start heating up the water, I would think.
Are we at the point where everything's set up though? And I mean, we have matches number 1, sleeping bags number 2, duct tape number 3, paracord 4, flotation device is 5, and the map is 6. So we have everything for the setup. So then we've got, I think the next things to come are going to be the food, the food, where'd it go? The whiskey bottle, and then probably the extra clothing.
Yeah.
So do we want to put whiskey?
I say whiskey bottle next, and the fanny pack of food.
So
Sure.
whiskey, 8 food, and then I think we can get the fire started and we can get the clothes dried off, and that will, keep the people who are still there warm, and they can send it out with the people who are going out. Because the wet clothes are going to draw a lot of heat away from their body. So I'm kind of thinking that'll put us at 9 and
What's-
clothes.
I missed it. What's 7, 8, and
Oh, so we have 7, 8, and 9. We have whiskey at 7, food at 8, and we're thinking about 9. I'm thinking the extra clothes at 9. That way they can dry them off, so the wet clothes don't draw heat away from them.
Okay.
I mean, here gets the part where it's just like apples and oranges, So we're okay with extra clothes at 9.
yeah.
Okay, so we've got the compass, the insect repellent, water purification tablets, and the yellow frisbee and broken fishing poles.
Let's do broken fishing poles because you can still fix them with like the duct tape.
Yeah, and they still have a lot of other use too, like they could be used as a piece of shelter, things like that, to hold up stuff. So broken fishing poles at 10.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think at 11, probably the compass.
We're not going to use it at all.
I don't think the
Yeah.
compass is gonna be really used.
All right.
Or the yellow frisbee, they could put it, I don't know, why that they're there, but I don't know how that helps very much.
I think the yellow frisbee is last. I don't, unless they use it to collect a little bit of water. I don't see what else.
I mean, yeah, at least the frisbee you could use it as a plate or collect water, or if you needed to, you could keep it, I guess, away from the fire enough to still heat up the water. So it still has more uses than a compass that's just gonna have dead weight.
All right. Is the area a river or is it like a really lakey region?
They say that they are in the scenario. It says that they're down from the next location is down from the river.
All right. So what do we want to put at 11 then? The yellow fish being water purification tablets or insect repellent?
Let's just go with the water purification tablets,
Okay. 12.
because you can still purify, like how Jessica said, you can still purify with the water and get something.
Okay.
And then probably insect repellent, I think, is the most out of the last three useful.
And then we'll go yellow fish B13 and compass 14. All right, so ranking wise, we have the matches, and then the sleeping bags, duct tape, paracord, flotation devices, plastic map of the region, the whiskey, the fanny pack of food, the set of clothes, the 2 broken fishing poles, the water purification tablets, insect repellent, yellow frisbee, and the compass.
Okay, how does that? Can you recite it from like the numbers going down that list so I can just fill it in?
Yeah, so first column is 8, 6, 5, 10, 9, 13, 11, 3, 7, 12, 1, 4, 14, 2.
Okay.
Okay, so what do we do now?
So on
Is this the follow instructions to complete column D?
yeah,
The remaining. So what does that mean?
I'm looking for column D. I just don't know where the column B is, the like essentially, but I just don't know where it is on that one.
Did you pull up the what is it? This is group lesson 4, whatnot, a discussion agenda.
Where's that at? I haven't seen it.
I think it's under your resources.
Because I'm under lesson 4 content, and it has the case study activity.
Oh, go down all the way down to the bottom on the table of contents. There should be a tab that says resources. And then it's just
Oh, that's where they are. Yeah. Okay.
group
Where it was.
You find it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so introduce the expert ratings and have students record this in the information column E. Okay, so in column D, sorry, I'm trying to pull mine up so I can fill it out at the same time. So the experts say this, so it says, the experts agree that the best course of action for the group was to repair one of the canoes and send 2 of the most experienced and least injured people to paddle to a road and then travel to Grand Marais. So they've decided to fix the canoe, travel there.
Oh, that's funny.
And then the first priority of the group is for them to go for help. However, in order to do this and survive, it is important to get warm and try to dry out wet clothing and sleeping bags. However, since it has started to drizzle and may rain, there is no assurance things will get dry soon. In that case, the party of 2 needs to leave quickly in wet clothes and take their wet sleeping bags with them. So they're sending 2 to go find a group of people, and those people, since they have to leave quickly, are just leaving in wet clothes just to get help as fast as possible. There's almost no food left, most of it having been lost in the rapids. About half should go to the two paddlers who will have less time to gather food, but who will presumably get to a food source sooner. The expert says as long as they have water, they could go for 3 days without food and still function adequately. On the third day, they would get shaky. Those left behind can try to touch some fish to eat. So that's basically what they decided is very similar to us. So their number one rating is the duct tape. So duct tape is number one. Number two is the personal flotation devices.
Wait, really?
Yeah. So it says these are useful mostly because they help keep the body wear. They can be worn as best to keep the torso warm and used as sit pages or pillows on wet or cold ground. Right now the clothes are all wet, even so it can keep them off the ground, it can keep them warmer, just can be a pillow, it's just basically what it is. Number three is the map of the area. Number four is the sleeping bags. Number five is the mattress. Number six is the food. If you have any ones that you're wondering about, they have the explanation. Number seven is the clothes.
Is the what?
The clothes. The clothing.
That's pretty high up there. What was 6 again? Sorry.
6 was the food.
That's the food?
Yep. And then 8 is the broken fishing poles. And then 9 is the parachute cord. That seems. It says
seems pretty low.
Parachute cord. This has many uses as a line to dry clothes. So bushes can be used to secure the food in a tree away from bears. And if the duct tape runs out, the cord can be used for splinting the leg, for repairing the gun walls of the canoe. In order to do this, poke holes near either side of copies. They're just saying it's not as useful as the duct tape is, but it does the same thing. All right, number 10 is the insect repellent. It says because there's such thick wooding and disease, it's such a heavy wooded area that it protects both against mosquitoes and black flies, which would be persistent and thick in this area, and often would carry Lyme disease. Number 11 is the water purification tablets. Hey, we got one right. Look at that. Number 12 is the yellow frisbee. Number 13 is the compass. Number 14 is the whiskey. Some may think the whiskey is useful for energy or to keep warm, but it actually has the opposite effect and should be used only as a last resort or for pain because of the broken bone. So yeah.
But they never.
They're not thinking of alcohol, they're thinking of just whiskey.
Yeah, it looks like they're just thinking about the alcohol and not the actual glass container.
So
I was reading that frisbee. They said you could boil water in. I don't think you can boil water in a plastic frisbee.
That would melt.
It probably releases toxins too out of the
well, frisbees can be decently deep and
plastic.
it can be okay.
I feel like the glass would last better than the plastic.
You don't have to worry about it melting.
All right, so next it says finalize your table, including the individual and group scores. So each of us need to finalize our table and just score both by group and individually. And then we should average it. And well, then I'll average it. So
what exactly are we doing then?
So just go through and look at everything you got right or wrong, and then mark it, and then total up all the ones you got right, and then do the same with the group, and then we'll average our individuals.
They have to be exactly the same as the expert.
No, yeah, they have to be the same number. If they're not the same number, then they're wrong.
I just confused with the B through D underneath it. That means nothing.
So no, it means go column B minus column D. That's the score you put in.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, that makes sense. All right, set. So it says that all your scores should be absolute values and no negative. So just like you're 5 off or 1 off.
Oh, so if it's negative, just say 0?
No, so you still say 10, so you were 10 off. But not like negative 10, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Just make them all positive numbers.
Yeah. I did so bad.
So are we just adding up everything in that column now?
Yeah, so that's your total score from the individual score.
That's 56.
You got what?
56.
Yeah.
I think it's funny though, like it almost makes me feel like we're wrong just because 2 other people have a different opinion, but because they have some experience, like their answers are God answers.
I'd probably die though.
Like I was reading through this and I was like, there's multiple ways you could do it. And as we were talking, there's different ways you can do it, and you're not gonna all do it at the same way. Like, you know, whoever's staying is going to be doing different priorities than who's ever heading out because, you know, they have different jobs.
Our group score was 36.
Was it 36?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I must have done something wrong then.
And then we do like our persuasion score, or like our persuasion score, which is your ranking, and the group ranking's different.
Okay, I'm getting 37 on the group score. What did I do wrong?
You got 2, 3, 2, 2, 1, 0, 2, 7, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2.
Okay, I'm getting, let's see, I got okay, I'm gonna go back to the original. Our group rating was 8, 6, 5, 10, 9, 13, 11, 3, 7, 12, 1, 4, 14, and 2.
Yeah.
Expert, I've got 6, 3, 2, 8, 7, 12, 11, 1, 14, 10, 5, 9, 13, 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Go ahead.
group air, I have 2, 3, 3, 2. Oh, I figured it out. Too bad, not that good, but too bad.
All right. Travis, what was your individual?
I got 30.
Oh, I got the worst at 62, killing it. And then I think the last thing is just our persuasion score. I was not very persuasive. I didn't try that hard, so that's okay. Be persuasive. All right. So our average was 49. Our group score was 36. And then what were your persuasion scores?
52.
And then 14.
So I think Travis was persuasive.
It's because I got a big mouth.
So our average persuasion score was 31. Okay. So, decide if your group had process gain. If your group score was lower than the average member score, then you did have process gain. If it was higher, then you did not. Our group score was 36. Our average member 49, so we did have process gain.
Yay, I think.
So we improved. So that's the end of the discussion note. Are we just supposed to post the video, or do we have to like make some kind of comments? I don't really understand what I do once I post it.
Wait, what's
That
that?
I just post the link on the discussion board, right?
Yes, that, and I think you have to post the scores.
The scores.
Yeah, so report the group results, so all of our results or whatnot that you just recorded, and then post the link to the video as well.
Okay. So just 8 through 11 and the link to the video, it looks like. I'll post our average scores and stuff too, just to be safe. All right. So I think we're all done then.
Well, it's
That's all done.
average group score, best member score, members persuasion score, and the process gain, yes or no.
So you just want, I'll post all that then on the board. Okay. Well, I will do that right now, and I think we are all set.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good one.